Right, hello everyone. Now, for today's lesson, we're just going to start off by going over a little something that we did in the previous lesson. So, say for example, I just want to show you something here. So, if we've got that and we add 3 to it, and then we take away 2, and it gives us 8. Now, there's a way of calculating this question, okay, by finding out the missing answer here. Because if we go backwards, in a sum, if we go backwards, we do the opposite operation. So if I'm going to go 8, instead of taking away 2, I'm going to add 2. And that will give me 10, okay? Then on this next part, instead of adding 3, because I'm going backwards, I'm going to do the opposite of an add, which is again a subtraction. Okay, so I will take away 3, and that should give me 7. Now let me just check. 7 plus 3 is 10. Take away 2 is 8. Okay, so I can see that that has worked. Let's do a one which is a little trickier. Okay, so let's go for, we want to find this answer here, and then we're going to times that by 3, and then add 5, and that will give us 20. Now remembering, when we go the opposite way along a sum, we do the opposite operation. So again, instead of adding 5, I'm going to do the opposite of that. I'm going to subtract 5, okay? And that will give me, so 20 take away 5 is 15, okay? Now I've got my 15, I'm going to go across here. Now instead of multiplying that by 3, I'm going to do the opposite of multiplying. The opposite of multiplying is dividing, remember. Divided by 3. So 15 divided by 3. How many 3's in 15? 5. Let me just check if that works. 5 times 3 is 15. Add 5 is 20. Yes, it does. One more, and then you can do a few of these yourself, and we'll show how it works with function machines that we did yesterday. Okay, the last lesson, sorry. So then I got this, I'm going to divide that by 4, and I'm going to add 9, and it should give me 19. Okay, so again, let's go the opposite. I'm going in the opposite direction. So instead of adding, I'm going to take away 9, which that will give me 10. And I got 10 divided by 4. Now the opposite of dividing is timesing. So I'm going to times that by 4. 10 times 4 is 40. Okay, let's have a quick look. 40 divided by 4 is 10. Add 9 is 19. Clearly it does work. So remember, when you go backwards on a sum, you do the opposite operation. The opposite operation. Okay, so look, the little bit of work I'd like us to do before we carry on with the sort of lesson. We're going to do sequences today, so it's a nice lesson, but we just want to get this done first. So remember from last time, 3n plus 2, that means that's a number times 3, doesn't it? Plus 2, okay? So when we are working these ones out here, that'll tell me that on this one I have to times it by 3. And this one I have to add by 2. Now this is the work we did in the last lesson. I've drawn in mini function machines here, okay? Mini function machines rather than the big ones we drew last time. So if I want to find out these are the missing numbers in our function machine, and this is our formula, 3n plus 2. So again, that means n times 3 plus 2. So that means this part of the function machine we're timesing by 3, and this one we're timesing by 2. So we got 14, so therefore we need to take away 2. So in this box goes the 12. Then instead of timesing by 3, we are instead of timesing by 3, because we go in the opposite way, we are dividing by 3. Okay, because when we go in the opposite direction, remember, we do the opposite operation, and therefore we're dividing by 3. How many 3's are in 12? 4. Let's just check if that works out. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 is 14. Good. Let's go with a device. If I can work it out quickly in my head. Right. Oh no, that's underneath. Okay. Right. Let's go with the another verse. Right. Okay. So let's see if we can get. Sorry, I'm going to do this off the top of my head. I've just suddenly gone blank. Let's have a little look. Right, let's go. So the answer is 23. Okay, so again, remember we're going backwards because again, the formula for this function machine is 3n plus 2, and this will be the same for the questions we're doing here, 3n plus 2. So I know that this means this is times 3 and this is plus 2. So let's work backwards. So we've got a 23. Instead of adding 2, we do the opposite, we take away 2. Okay, so that'll give us 21. Instead of timesing by 3, we're dividing by 3. How many 3's are in 21? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 7. Let's just check. 7 times 3 is 21. Plus 2 is 23. Okay, have a go with these. Remembering this is the formula. This is the formula. So on each one, so as the formula is 3n plus 2, the formula for each one is times 3 plus 2. So that's the same for all of them. Times 3 plus 2 times 3 plus 2. Have a go with those questions 1, 2, 3. Just underneath your last work, please. Have a go at those. Pause the video while you're doing them, and then we'll carry on with the next part of the lesson. Okay? Oops, right, good. Could you write then the short date and learning objective in your book, please? Short date and learning objective to understand and work out sequences. So it's quite a nice, straightforward lesson today, actually. Right. So if we've got this set of this sequence of numbers, okay. So we start off at 3, 6, 9. How many is it giving us the book? 12. So in each question we're going to be doing today, we're going to do 4 numbers, and we have to then go up to the 10th number. So all we have to do when we're doing this is, how am I getting from one to another? There I'm adding 3, adding 3, adding 3, and I can very quickly work out the sequence each time you're adding 3. So 12 add 3 is 15, add 3 is 18, add 3 is 21, add 3 is 24, and then add 3 is 27, otherwise we won't have enough space. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, add 3 is 30, 9, add 3 is 33. So that's the first in our sequence, and that's the 10th in our sequence. Okay, and all we're doing is repeating the same thing, aren't we? We're just adding the same number each time. Let's have a look at this one. So if you had this question, so it would be 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. And now you can see straight away that each time you're just adding 2. From each number you're plussing 2, adding 2 each time. So this becomes 13 add 2, 15, 17, 19, 21. How many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more. 23. So this is my first number in the sequence, and this is my 10th number in the sequence. Okay. 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Right. Okay. Good. Again, another sort of straightforward one. So we got 7, 17, 27, 37. Now you can see straight away each time you're just adding 10. Add 10, add 10. So it becomes 37, 47, 57, 67, and so on until we get to R 77, 87, 97. I don't think that's that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, our 10th number. Okay, our 10th number. Okay, 97. They can be a little bit trickier. Okay, so they're not going to be all quite as easy as that. So it could be something. Okay, let's just do one with decimals. So we go 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5. Okay, so again, you can see here, each time you're adding 0.5. You're adding a half, aren't you? Okay, so obviously the next one in the sequence here is going to be 4. Okay, then it's going to be 4.5. So each time you're adding 0.5. Okay, 0.5. So it can be in decimals as well. So a trickier decimal one now. Okay, so we've got 1.3, 1.3, 1.6, 1.9, 2.2. Okay, so again we're going up this time by 0.3, by 0.3, 0.3. So just be a little bit careful. Okay, so this one would be 2.5, then it would be 2.8, and these are the tricky ones when you're going up to the next whole number. When you're going up, 0.3. So again, it would come up to 3.1. And if you think about it, actually, sometimes it's easy to think about these sort of things as if that's 13, 16, 19, 22, 25, 28, 31. As if you're going up in sort of in whole numbers, isn't it? When you've got adding 3. So just be a little bit careful in those. And you get some with fractions. So it could start at 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, and continue on like that. Okay, and continue on through the sequence. Okay, so not too tricky at all. Okay, not too tricky at all. What I'd like us to do, and I think today's work probably, because I was a bit worried that last week perhaps I was asking people to do too much. Remember, I do these videos quite a long way in advance, so I haven't had too much feedback, so I'm not going to give you too much work to do today. Okay, so could we please, on page 95, on page 95 in your textbook, please, page 95 in your textbook, questions 8. So this is your minimum amount, okay? Your absolute minimum that I would accept for you to do. Most of us will be able to do these, okay? It's not too hard. Remember, you have to write out all 10 numbers in the sequence. Write all 10 numbers in the sequence. When you're writing them out, for example, just put a little comma in between. So it'll be 5, 10, 15, until you get to the 10th number, okay? So you have to write out the numbers in the book and the next numbers up to the 10th in the sequence. So most of us then will be able to do these. Okay, so I would expect everyone to do up to question 14 really. But if you're really struggling, please just go up to number 8. And the extension today is just the think question. And actually that's really useful. You could actually find more than one of them where you can work out the 100th number. So have a little look, see if there's any more you can work out the 100th number for, because it's quite a good little think question. So have a go at that as your extension. All right, good luck with that, everyone, and we will carry on again with this next time. Okay, bye.